Hello, everyone. This is another episode of Set It Straight with Doc Bots. My name is Todd Bavon with Gotham Training Productions. Joining us a little bit will be Dr. Thomas Bottoleri, New York University Hospital, New York University Presbyterian Hospital. I'm off my game. I'm sorry, guys. Columbia University. He's been jumping in with conversations with myself and my business partner at Gotham Training, Mike Graziuso, who joins us. And Mike and I have been talking about COVID-19 a bunch and the truth, the facts, the fictions. See, guys, I'm just off my game. I'm not sleeping right. I'm not eating right. I'll be honest with you, I'm having too many adult beverages. Mike, have you noticed a difference in yourself or?
I feel stress that's not there. I just don't feel myself, and then I think last night might have been the kicker when I laid down in bed and I could feel my second chin on my chest. So it's like what is going on here? And I can't, I don't know.
So it's so draining. I'm just I don't.
Hey, Doc.
What's happened?
Hey,
you don't seem yourself, either one of you.
No, I just out of it. Just not. Can't focus. I can't speak. I can't introduce you correctly. I can't introduce the show correctly, even though my wife is making me a lovely breakfast as we speak here. I'm blessed. I'm happy. I love her.
Andrea made Todd pancakes.
I'm
getting pancakes.
Doc, I'm trying to see the bright side of things. I'm spending more time with my wife, more time with my puppy. I love it, but human nature, we're supposed to be out. We're supposed to be talking to people. We're supposed to on a routine, and it's just been disrupted. And our buddy said, listen, the faucet just got cut off, and the uncertainty. Like sometimes I can't sleep. I don't know. I don't know how to intro you now, Doc. I'm out of it.
No, there's no intro necessary. I think this is probably the most important conversation we could have for almost everybody during this pandemic.
Yeah.
85% of people who get infected are going to be okay. And that's not to, minimize or make it seem like we're not worried about the other folks who are getting severely ill. But for the 85% of people who are home right now, socially isolated, depression is real. And, stress is real. So we need to work on regulating ourselves. And it's okay to have a glass of wine or a beer, but we have to be super careful with alcohol intake right now. And we have to develop routines. People are not sleeping well. People are staying up late watching God knows which news station and staying up on social media channels. And it's just not healthy to be in that constant state of stress. One of the things I talk about a lot in my office is autonomic nervous system function. Do you guys know what the autonomic nervous system is? Probably another middle school teacher experience, maybe Mike had or something.
I'm too depressed to think, Doc.
All right.
So enlighten us, please, in as much layman terms as possible.
All right. So fight and flight, rest and digest. These are polarities. So the fight and flight system. Imagine if you were in the woods and a black bear suddenly appeared. You'd immediately, your muscle would have blood flow. Your eyes would dilate. And you'd be ready to fight or run away from that bear. That's stress that we were evolved to handle versus rest and digest. Somebody brings out a beautiful plate of, what do you have there? Fresh pancakes.
Hey, what do I know?
What salivating? I know I'm salivating a little bit. That looks delicious.
Yeah, it's good.
So we're ready to digest. We're ready to allow that parasympathetic or rest and digest system. So in a state of constant stress, cortisol levels are high, blood pressure is high. And sometimes, people will rely on substances like alcohol to try to relax or de-stress, but there are other strategies. My favorite is a breathing technique where you breathe in 4 seconds in and then breathe out about 8 seconds out. And you can count in your brain 4 seconds in, 8 seconds out. That helps to rebalance your autonomic nervous system. Last night, I was having trouble sleeping too. I think it's just the overstimulation of things.
Yeah.
And, so there's another breathing pattern called box breathing. 4 seconds in, hold for 4 seconds, 4 seconds out, hold for 4 seconds. And if you can't get it exactly, that's okay. Like anything that you practice, any skill, you'll get better and better at it. But those are modified meditative techniques. And I think that right now we need to get a routine going. We need to get to bed on time. We should get up on time, get some fresh air every day, get some sunlight every day. Yeah. Let's eat fresh fruits and vegetables when possible. If not, dried fruits and vegetables. And try to connect socially.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what's bothering you. What things are really weighing on you the most?
Right. Which really makes sense. Yeah. Get on a routine again, but it's just we're on a modified routine now because we're all indoors for the most part. However, social distancing taking into account, we can go outside, so we can go for a walk or maybe a little bit of a jog or walk the dog or whatnot. So, and we can eat correctly, and we can make a conscious decision not to have that glass of wine every night or beer every night, and dial it back a little bit. So, no, it's all good points, Doc. And I think you're right.
I don't mind people having a glass of wine, with dinner, that kind of thing. I think that's okay. But we do tend to develop habits very quickly. And,
right.
The same way we've reacted to this pandemic by adjusting our schedules and doing things like these kinds of meetings, right. we can adjust our schedule at home. And
look, Battleri, Graziuso, Bavona, we all enjoy a glass of Italian wine. Listen, I'm a Chianti guy personally, but my father, for as long as I can remember, even when we lived in Canarsie, Brooklyn, glass of wine every night, no matter what the meal was,
right.
And an espresso with a shot of Zambuca. Every night without fail. And I tell you, he's as God bless him, love him, knock on wood, he's healthy as can be. So my point.
Yeah.
Listen, a glass of wine, studies have shown, right? The famous last words, studies have shown a little glass of wine ain't going to kill you. So, yeah, you can enjoy a glass of wine every now and then. So, yeah, you're right, Doc.
I thought it was a bottle of wine a day. I thought you can have a bottle of wine a day. It keeps the doctor away. That's what I was always told.
No, Mike, that's too much, brother. That's too much.
It's excessive.
Listen, I'm going to say one other thing, beyond that, and hopefully this comes across the right way. There's a great book Viktor Frankl wrote about his experience in the Holocaust called Man's Search for Meaning. And one of the things that I think also really helps to get people back in the flow of things is to approach your day with gratitude. And I know that this isn't necessarily my medical specialty or, something that I'm saying from a scientific standpoint in relation to the COVID infection. But if you wake up every day and have a little bit of gratitude, what things can you be grateful for? What things can you control? Viktor Frankl talks about it when he was in the concentration camps, and he says, the last thing you have is the way you react to your situation and your reason why, right? So what's our reason why? Why are we doing this broadcast? We want to help other people. We want to make other people feel good. We want to give people some good advice. So my advice to people who are starting to feel down, like you guys, you're doing a great service right now. You're trying to help get good news out. You're doing what you can from your place and what you're good at. So
correct.
That's what everybody needs to do. What are you good at? What can you contribute? How can you do something in your grasp? Right? Instead of reaching for the conspiracy theory or reaching for, what is the president doing right and wrong? And how is the WHO failing us or succeeding? What can you do from your place, from where you live, from where you're existing? Right. So that's probably the most important message for the 85% of people who are going to do just fine with this infection.
Excellent, Doc. I think we can end it on that. I mean, that's a great message for that can reach anyone, and that can hit anyone. And this is hitting everyone differently. We're all handling it differently, but
Todd, he opened up a good segue for the next episode with conspiracies. So I think the next episode we talk about vaccines and conspiracies.
Can we also say one other thing here? And that's a good point on mental health and what we should do if we're suspecting depression, because depression is a real disease with a real impact on your health. There are online resources available right now, the same way we talked about telehealth for your medical needs and speech pathology being delivered through teleplatforms. I think it's important for people to realize there are psychotherapy, behavioral therapy, professionals online available to you if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling anxious, and that's getting out of control and it's interfering with your motivation to do the things that you would normally do, or you're feeling hopeless. You're not alone in this. And there are resources available.
And that's a great point and a great way to end this. And Mike, I think you were saying it could be a good segue. What we were saying before, he was talking about mental health, which is very important. And we'll provide all those links for those viewing at home. A good segue would be, what were we going to say?
Vaccines.
vaccines and the conspiracies and sifting through other information. So great words from the doctor. Appreciate it as always. Thank you to my wife for providing an amazing meal. And thank you all for watching. See you next time.